Hello, everyone. My name's Louis, but you can call me Risonic. It's my game attack for most things, and comes from a story I wrote in year one involving a werewolf and Daniel Craig. But anyway, this is a bit of Call of Duty 4. I know it's hardly ghosts, but this came out in 2007, I think, which is now about well, it's closer to 6 years ago, but nonetheless, that is a long, long time. Um, I the first Call of Duty I ever got was actually Call of Duty 5, and we got this a few months afterwards, I do believe. So this isn't like my first experience with FPSs. And I think the first FPS I actually played online was Quantum of Solace, which actually does rather shamelessly rip Showdown, I think, from this game and calls it something else, and they base it in the Madagascarian. Is that the correct embassy? Whatever. But I think I preferred CoD 5. I'm not even sure anymore. I think I'll probably end up preferring CoD 4 now. I don't know why. It's such a good game. I mean, my brother had Ghosts, so, and plus in Ghosts I've hit some invisible barrier in kill for death ratio where I'm stuck with people who are either just better than me or are shameless campers and should burn eternally. That was a little harsh. You know, maybe they should just sort of like singe their fingertips now and then. There we go. That's punishment enough. That hurts, dude. But anyway, so this was the second Call of Duty I ever played online after I finally got my own Xbox, which was probably 3 years ago, maybe closer to 4 now. I don't actually know. I just remember seeing tenure, 3 years, on my Xbox Live profile. But I really, like, coming back to this game, it is really fun to play because it's a lot more simplistic than Ghosts. I got out of the way of that grenade danger indicator, but you know, whatever. Grenades were kind of OP on this game. But the simplicity of it all, like, you only allowed one attachment on weapons, and while I do like Ghost's perk system, this has, you know, perk 1, perk 2, perk 3, your blue, red, and green perks. So your blue ones is generally equipment, so like claymores and stuff like that, and equipment is now your grenade slot. In CoD 5 it was your up arrow on the D-pad and all the rest, but the grenade launcher got rid of your perk 1 slot, which, you know, was a nice way of balancing it. Grenade launchers weren't used a whole ton, although, of course, noob tubing still was a thing. This game was very big for sniping. I realize that a lot of people probably don't know about this game, which is actually it's kind of weird because I just sort of assumed that everyone did. But it's a bit like the Elder Scrolls. I assumed everyone came on in Oblivion, but more people came on in Skyrim than Oblivion. Which is a bit, whoa, dude, because I just assume everyone had the same experience as me. But this was actually the first Call of Duty that actually got popular. I've played Call of Duty 3 on the Wii, because my mum got it for £3. It's alright. It wasn't. I don't really know why this is the first one that got popular. I think this is sort of when competitive online gaming first started kicking off, and you had MLG, and it probably started in sports games, but then FPSs, and mainly arcade shooters, because I can't really see them having, like, cage matches on Battlefield. But it sort of became a thing, and I imagine that's probably what led to the popularity of this game. But this is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and goes without saying, the first game in the Modern Warfare series, in which there were 3 games, all continuing the same plot. And this is the last Call of Duty to have a number in its title, because you have World at War next, and then you have Modern Warfare. Well, the last Call of Duty to have a number signifying what game it is in the series, because you had Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 and all the rest, and there's presumably going to be a Ghost 2, judging from the cliffhanger at the end of the last one. Or perhaps they'll be more original and they'll call it Call of Duty Phantoms. Rah. No, that's probably kind of stupid. Boop. Airstrike. Yeah, I guess I sort of remembered at that point I'm recording, so I must pretend to have some sort of silent personality. Anyway, this game was totally rad, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Disturbing Lemon sniping me there. But this is sort of where trick-shotting was birthed as well. I do believe there were sniper rifles in the other games, but this is where it sort of kicked off, and it's gotten kind of legendary status, and quickscoping and no-scoping and all that jazz was an unintentional feature, but, you know, just they made it so that sniping would, you know, work like sniping does in real life. You sit from afar and you shoot people that are far away and appear very small in your little scope. Some dude runs behind the train and I don't even notice him. But I'm fairly certain I nab him later on, so it's all good. But yeah, that's where it sort of kicked off, and you could put ACOG scopes on your snipers, but in this game, not a whole lot of guns, not a whole lot of attachments, and you can only have one attachment on a gun. It wasn't until Modern Warfare 2, which came out 2 years later, that you could attach to attachments to your weapon using the perk Bling. But I quite liked the plot from Modern Warfare, actually. All three of them. You can tell that... I don't know about Modern Warfare 2, but you can tell that they certainly didn't have the plot figured out for Modern Warfare 3 when this came out. Perhaps they thought they'd just leave it as it was, and yeah, I mean, it works as a one-off. Sometimes cliffhangers can just stay cliffhangers and don't have to be answered. But I don't know. I really did like the plot, though, even if perhaps they just sort of went, oh, well, I suppose we'll just make another Modern Warfare game. I mean, it's a nice, safe way to go. Oh, and that's the end of the match. But even so, I still think they did alright with the plot. And I do have another video to record, so I don't think I had any other thoughts to get in here. Funkasaurus Rex, no! That's an awesome game attack, by the way. Shame that they spelled Saurus wrong. Oh well, it's 24 for 8. It's kind of eerie because my next match is 25 for 8. Goodbye.